Keith, we're going to move on and talk about Leeds United. Now, quite a surprising move, actually, very interesting, that Will Ferrell has been announced as a minority investor, I should say, into Leeds United. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, he's got a bit of a football pedigree with Los Angeles FC, which he's been involved in for quite a time now. So he's starting to show that he has got some football knowledge. Obviously, Leeds have now gone into with not only the 49ers, obviously, who had that big link, but they've got a couple of golfers with Jordan Spieth, etc., in there. Will Ferrell, as you say, has just come on board. So there's obviously a little cabal of sports celebrities in the US that obviously either speak together or have an agent or something in common. It's great for Leeds. I think it's very good for Leeds, particularly when somebody like Ferrell has a good football background and is starting to understand the game. I think that's great. I think the 49ers will potentially be good owners. I remember speaking to a guy called Al Guido, who was the president of the 49ers, who came to look at Villa at the time. And, at that time it could have been probably Aston Villa rather than Leeds, but it didn't quite happen. So, look, it's good. Leeds, we all know, are a big club and deserve to be in the top flight. But they've got to do it. And now the playoffs beckon, and it's going to be a difficult period for them. But getting things right behind the scenes, I think they've got a very good CEO in Angus Kinnear. I think he's a very good operator. And I think they've got all the ingredients together to try and get back up. We all know, though, it has to be done on the pitch. And the Championship is a very, very hard league to escape from, as we all know. It's probably one of the best leagues to watch for football enjoyment in every season. So Leeds are getting the ammunition and the thing right. If they just let the people that know it operate it properly, I think Daniel Farke can do a good job for them. And so, look, I think Leeds may well be the ones that get up this year. If they do, with this new backing behind them, I think they'll try it again very hard to spend the money to stay up.
Keith, is one of the key reasons, do you think, that celebrities are getting involved in football now in ownership is actually for the social media presence, so that, his followers all around the world, specifically Will Ferrell, actually turn around and go, do you know what, I'm going to support Leeds United because of him? Is that one of the attractions of owning a football club, or being involved in a football club at least?
Yeah, look, I think it is. And I think it isn't so much the celebrities themselves as their agents who are seeing things like the Wrexham story being so big in the US. They're seeing NBC paying, very big fees for soccer. The viewership figures have go through the roof. Depending on the celebrity and the demographic to which they appeal, if it's young men or young women, then they see football as a very viable way to help promote their status and their celebrity. So the agents are definitely getting involved in this. What's been interesting behind the scenes is you got groups like CAA, which is the Creative Artists Agency, who were for many, many years the big Hollywood agency and the ones that controlled most of the stars, have got into football. They bought two big football agencies in the UK. And so there's now a merger between the entertainment industry and the football sports industry. And we're seeing that. I mean, you're seeing Tom Brady at Birmingham, and you're seeing, players coming and celebrities coming from everywhere. So I do believe in it. I do believe that social media is a key component to every club's marketing strategy now. And so to have a celebrity on board, I think is very, very important. And if you can but the main thing is making it authentic and making sure they are genuinely a fan. It doesn't work otherwise, but certainly it gives you a new way to promote things. And I think making yourself relevant, particularly to overseas markets, is a very important strategy. And yes, I think celebrity is a key part of any marketing strategy going forward. And if I was with a club right now, I'd be certainly trying to do that and finding out who my celebrity fans were and making them work harder if possible.
And Keith, you mentioned it in there about the automatics. Unfortunately, Leeds missed out on that, but they are into the playoffs. What's your predictions for them? Are you feeling confident for Daniel Farke's side? Or actually, do you think that because they came so close to getting the automatics but just missed out, that actually could have a real negative effect going into the playoffs?
I think it actually will stiffen their resolve. I think when I look at the clubs, I think they've got probably the best chance to go back up. Playoffs, though, having been through them myself, are notoriously hard. West Brom have had a bit of a dip recently. Southampton have had a bit of a dip. But Leeds, to me, look like the team that can bounce back from this and have got the quality to try and get through. So I would expect Leeds to be the ones that go through at Wembley.
And if they are unfortunate, Keith, if they do miss out in a bit of a surprise, I guess, as you were saying, a bit of a surprise, would or should the fans be worried? Would the club be concerned about losing some star players going into the summer, given how well they've done this season?
Yeah, I think there would be. I think there's got to be a bit of a rejig. Farke can handle the Championship, though. He's obviously a good operator within that. He knows the type of player he needs and what he wants. I think the experience is what you need in the Championship, and I think he knows that. So I would expect a Championship-ready squad for Leeds next season if they don't quite make it. But I do expect them to get through.
I mean, Keith, one or two of their stars, someone like Archie Gray, who's really appeared this season, knows the club very well. Effectively, is a Leeds fan. It clearly is a very passionate player for Leeds. Would someone like him, if they are to miss out on promotion, actually, do you think some of the players would stay to try and help them get back up the following season? Is there a likelihood of that because of the size of the club?
Well, Archie Gray, as you mentioned, obviously has got family heritage and tradition that is totally steeped in Leeds. I mean, beyond the normal sort of player relationship. So you would expect a lot of family pressure to be applied on him to try and stay there and help Leeds come through. He is a great young talent, and certainly I don't think another season in the Championship would hurt him in terms of his value. I think this being in the shop window again would probably only increase that value. But it depends, how he's advised. I think his heart would still be at Leeds. But sometimes, agents don't always go with your heart. They go with where they think the right value for your career is. But I do think one more season at Leeds could well be the right decision for him. And again, if he was to go out helping them get promotion, then of course that would help him be remembered well at Elland Road.